Okay.
That's okay, man.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Heather Woods, and I'm going to give you a speech tonight I'm going to give you a informative speech on the rise of Fidel Castro. Fidel Castro was born in Cuba in August 13th, 1926. He was one of 5 children. His father's name was Angel Castro. He was a wealthy sugar farm plantation owner. Castro's mother's name was Lena Ruz Gonzalez, and she was actually a maid for Castro's Angel's father's first wife. And they were never married. And they had 5 kids out of wedlock. And Castro's father and mother never even got married until he was 15 when he divorced his first wife. And they had 5 kids together. And like I said, his father was a wealthy sugar farm plantation owner. Castro was raised once his parents got married, he was raised in a wealthy lifestyle. And the whole while he was raised in this lifestyle, he was seeing all the poverty in Cuba of all his fellow Cubans. And a lot of people say this is why he had such a distaste for the wealthy people. And that's why he came up with the social programs like universal health care and just illiteracy programs. And he always showed a great drive for ambition his whole life. At the age of 12 years old, Castro wrote a letter to President Franklin D. Roosevelt telling him he likes American life, but he doesn't speak American English very well. He loved American baseball, and he actually asked President Roosevelt for a $10 bill. This is back in the 30s. So you can imagine what a $10 bill was, the amount, because he said he'd never seen one, and of course, nobody ever knew if President Roosevelt responded to it or not. At the age of 17, Castro's father finally legally recognized him as his child, and he took his name, because he was actually born Fidel Alejandro Castro Ruz was his birth name. But at the age of 17, his father finally recognized him, and he took the name Castro. He started law school in 1945 in Havana, Cuba. In 1947, Castro went to the Dominican Republic and joined a group to overthrow one of the dictators, Rafael Trujillo. And in 1948, Castro had married Merida Diaz Bartlett. I think I'm saying her last name right. They had 1 child together, Fidel. And Castro's wife came from a very wealthy family. And this introduced him to the wealthy lifestyle even more than what he was accustomed to. And it introduced him to the political aspects and just gave him more ambition and drive to want more wealth and everything. Even though he had such a distaste for American, he was in love with America, but he had such a distaste for it. And like I said, he loved baseball. He loved so many things that had to do with America. He just hated wealthy people and the way they treated the poor. And when he went to the Dominican Republic, they tried to overthrow the dictator, and they failed. But he didn't let that stop him. And then when after he married Maritza in 1948, he actually tried for a political seat in the Cuban parliament. There was a coup led by General Batista that overthrew the government. So it kind of, he lost his, they overthrew the government, and so they shut the election down, and he never got the chance to be in the election or even in the parliament. And then in July 26th of 1953, Fidel Castro launched an attack on a Moncada army barracks, and most of the people that were involved in that, they either were killed, captured, and so he's always thrived and shown his ambition. You know, in the 1970s, he promoted himself as the leading spokesman for third world countries. He invented over 10,000 schools for fellow Cubans, and in the 80s, thousands of Cubans fled just to get away from him because of his social reform and political. He was a communist basically. And then in 2006, he started having a lot of health problems, and his health was deteriorating. He had like internal bleeding, gastro, and so he had to step down. So he elected his brother Raul to be over it. And then I think in 2011, he finally stepped down permanently because he couldn't function anymore. But thank y'all for your time. Hope it gave a little bit of insight. If anybody isn't aware of what Fidel Castro looks like, here is a picture of him. And thank y'all for your time. My name is Heather Woods, and Span everybody.
Still here.
Thank you.
Hey.